today what we are going to learn and what we are going to understand is the basic tools that are required for plotting your study or for understanding how you can use a certain website as a tool to post your study, to study on that and understand what can you expect from the knowledge you have about it. So the last two seminars I specifically spoke a lot about things. I had a different kind of a presentation called mind note that I did, a mind map thing that I did where I explained about investing. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show something on a PPT and also show something on the live market as well. So today's session is not going to be about investing or learning, but it's about the execution part of it. How do you start executing? How do you start learning? And at the end of today's webinar, I am going to ask all of you to do a little homework as well, because only when you practice, it can lead to perfection. The more you practice, the more you execute, the more you try, the better you get at your skill. So today we are not going to just learn, we are also going to learn how to execute. And like I just mentioned, you will be going back and you will be practicing this a little bit too. So allow me to just share my screen with all of you. Just give me a minute. I'm just going to start a presentation for all of you. So this presentation basically is going to help you understand the do's and don'ts, and most importantly, how you can start plotting your study and how to use charting websites. Yeah, here we go. So today's presentation is basically about how you can learn to chart what you learn, how you can chart what you want to study, where to chart it. So today is going to be about introduction to charting tools and charting websites. So what do we do to understand what are charting websites? Anywhere where you plot your study, a website which you are going to use to post points, to draw trend lines, to understand supports, resistances, and even write notes. You can even type notes onto that, which help you remember things in the future. It also indicates a few parameters like the trading time, the trading session time, the price of the particular equity or currency or commodity, whatever you're investing or trading in. Along with that, there are multiple tools, like any skilled artist requires tools to work. For example, if you're a carpenter, you require tools to build something. The tools can be a variety of tools like a hammer, a spanner, a saw, and stuff like that. Similarly, when you're trading or investing, you also need tools that you can use to analyze stuff. So I'm going to take you into it directly to help you understand that. So let's understand what are charting websites. So charting websites are where you will be plotting your study. So when I say plotting, we have just started the journey of education and knowledge. But before you go to college or before you go to school, you need to understand where to write. So you need to carry a notebook to write into. So this is like that notebook which I'm going to explain to you how to use it, which will eventually help you make notes when you start learning from the 28. So first question is, where do you plot and what are charts? So charts basically are the study of price action of a particular instrument. Can be equity, can be future options, can be currency or commodities. I'll get to the details of what future options are as we go ahead. But basically they are plotted on something called charting tools. So as you can see here on the screen right now, there are a variety of charting tools people use. So the most commonly used are TradingView.com and investing.com. So I will not just be telling you about this, I'll be showing this to you on in today's seminar as well. I'll be explaining how to use it. So MT4 and MT5 are basically MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. They are very rarely used in the Indian markets. Those are specifically for international markets. I do teach in the international market, so I have this in the slide. I won't be explaining MT4 and 5 today, but I will be taking you quickly through TradingView and investing. So if you have your books ready, make sure you're making notes about this. So basically, what is a chart? A chart basically shows you the price of a stock over a period of the selected time frame. So when I say selected time frame, we are in charge of selecting the time frame that you want to invest or trade accordingly. I will be explaining to you in detail how to select that time frame, who should select what time frame, also I'll be discussing. Basically, a charting website is a tool that is used to plot prices. There you can also have supporting indicators, analysis tool, and you can study. Like I mentioned in the beginning, you can write down your points on the chart, you can make notes on it, you can put alarms on that. Alarms is basically like you have a study plotted and you're waiting for a particular price to be broken. Like in today's case, you must have seen we experienced a huge fall in the market. If somebody had put an alarm there, probably he would have got the alarm on his mobile, WhatsApp, email, or even a message, depending on the setting, that this particular level has been broken. So that's how it works. So a charting tool is very important for any investor or a trader, especially if you're working in technical analysis. It definitely gives you a lot more insight about fundamentals as well. I'll show that to you on the screen in some time. So going ahead, it helps you analyze. So basically, a charting website is a place where you are able to analyze the previous price of that particular stock, equity, currency, or commodity. And only after being able to analyze the previous price action, you are able to predict or analyze the probability of what could happen in the future. For example, every stock, every instrument, I like to call it an instrument. So every stock, currency, commodity, any instrument has a particular way of behaving that can easily be identified in something called channels or supports and resistances. So what happens is, this past study of prices is going to help you analyze what is a probable future that can happen. And that's exactly what happens on the charting websites where you can plot this study. So going ahead, I'm going to first take you to the website called TradingView. As you see, I have a link here. I can click on this link and we'll be taken to TradingView. However, I already have the page open for you. Apologies. So this is TradingView. So what you need to do is you can just go into www.tradingview.com. So there is also a free version of this and there is also a paid version of this. I use TradingView paid version. You could always opt for the free version when you're beginning. While learning, I highly recommend, I highly suggest, do not pay for any software, do not pay for any website. Make sure your learning is as easily, freely available, because TradingView and investing.com are the two websites I'll be teaching you today, and both these websites are easily available for free. So this is basically TradingView. Now I'm going to take you through this first. So TradingView, basically what you need to do is you need to go to the products tab. So there's a button called products. You have to go there and then select chart. So charting tools. So here you go. This is the products tab. You go here, the products tab. I select on products and then I go to super chats. Once I do this, what happens is I directly come to this particular page. So you will see that this is the page I'm talking about that's going to reflect how the price action works. Now, I'm sure the first question you have in your mind is, wow, this is so complicated. So many buttons on the left side. We've got so many buttons. We've got so many buttons on the top. We've got something here. We've got something here. So I'm going to break it down point by point for each and every aspect right now. So I'm going to go back to our presentation again. First, let's understand how this looks. So as you see, I have divided this into three sections. One is section on the left side, one is on the top, and one on the right side. Now, on the left side, I have mentioned here, on the left side of the screen are going to be the tools to draw on a chart. So tools basically means you're going to have your pen, you're going to have your eraser, you're going to have your notepad, you're going to have points to join, lines to draw, magnets, and n number of things. I am going to be giving you homework where you have to explore all of this, which is going to make it a little easier. But remember, the left side is about the tools. On the top, if you look at here on the top, so this section is where you can put in the name of the equity or name of the instrument, and that appears on your chart. This is the time frame. This is selecting the candle strikes. These are indicators which we will be learning on the 28th. And on the right side here is the current price that's going on for that particular instrument. So let's go to the live chart again. So this is the live chart. So like we mentioned here, on this side, you will see a lot of tools. I can use a cursor, a dot, an arrow, and eraser. Again, these tools are important. The lines tools are important. Second line is lines. So now what you can do is, let's say I want to plot a horizontal line. In English, it very clearly mentions that this is a horizontal line. So I can just select this horizontal line. Let's say I want to use this point as a horizontal line. I can just come here and click, and the line is ready. So this can be a target, maybe a support, a marking that I want, a level I want to mark. It's as per my convenience. So I can just mark this. So where to mark, why to mark is something I'll be teaching in the course. But how to mark is something I'm explaining right now, because like I mentioned, you need to start making notes. So these are some tools you can use according to study. You can use a ray. A ray is basically a 2-click solution. So like we use the horizontal line where I just used 1 click and I got a horizontal line. A ray is where I can select 2 different points. For example, in this case, I'll just, I just closed the indicator volume, so you can ignore that currently. So let's say I want to use a ray to mark a support system here. So I just use, let's say, this point, and I, let's say, use the second point over here or a second point over here. So this can be like a 2-click tool that I'm using. The first click I used was here. I'll show this once again to all of you. I'm deleting this for now. So I use the first click over here. Then I have the second click is yet to happen. See, this ray is moving very freely because I haven't clicked the second time. The moment I come here and I click for the second time, it's fixed. So if you want to move the ray afterward, I can just click and hold on to the mouse, and I can change the click whenever I want. Sorry, wherever I want. So this is the ray. So these are some tools that I'll be teaching in the actual course. So these tools, I want all of you to try and experiment on these. If I want to draw a parallel line, I can just use this like 1 or 2, and then I get a big flag that opens up right here. So these are options, they're tools that you can explore, understand how they work. Then there are some tools called Fibonacci. I'm sure some of you must have heard about Fibonacci retracements, about fib channels, about the Gann theory, Gann boxes, trend-based extensions. So these are different kind of tools that I teach in the actual courses, but these are something that you will be using once you start learning. They've got, everybody here has heard about chart patterns at some point of time. So you can see you have a head and shoulder chart pattern that you can plan. The wave theory is also here. So a lot of options are there in TradingView. There is long and short positions as well. Then like I mentioned, you can draw rectangles, you can circle, you can ellipse, you can highlight. So one of the most important is text. So let's say I'm looking at Infosys as a buying opportunity, and I'll give you an example how to plot it right now on this chart. So let's, for example, I'll just delete everything. This is the delete button here. So I'm deleting this, and this is a magnet button. So I'm going to just activate the magnet right now. I'll tell you why. So let's say as an investor, I feel that if the price goes above this level, so what is this level? This level is basically 1664. So what I can do is I can just go here, use the horizontal line, click here. So when I just maneuver over this particular candlestick, you will see that because of the magnet, it directly goes where it was. So I just go here, I click on this, and voila, a line appears. So what I'm doing is I'm setting this level that as an investor, let's say I'm thinking, if the price goes above this, I would like to enter in this stock for assumptions case. So I have marked this now. So how do I implement this is, can you see a plus sign over here where my cursor is? So this plus sign is basically an alarm that I can set in TradingView. I use TradingView extensively, so I'm very comfortable using the tools and techniques in this. I can set an alarm over here. So let's say I've set an alarm over here. I just click on this and I add alert on in fee at 1664.55. So now as you can see, if you see, I've also put an alarm over here. So this alarm is set. So my alarm here is set. So now if I remove this line, you will see an alarm already pending here. So now what I've done is I have put an alarm as an investor where if it goes above this, I would like to invest. So tools can be used in this way. Now let's say I want to write it down. I just go to text. So like we have written in school and college on your notebooks. What I do is, this is my Infosys chart. I just go to text. I select on text. I click here and say, wait for level 1664 to break on the upside to buy. So now what I have done is, let's say I'll just make this a little smaller. Maybe I can just, I'll just make it 20. I can change the color to red or whatever color you want. So this is all something you can do. Now what happens is, let's say Infosys does not break this level for the next 2 months. What happens is, we get busy with work, we get busy with looking at other stocks, we get busy with other stuff. And then let's say in February, this alarm that we just set goes off. What happens is, you may not remember what the alarm was for. Quite possible. So because you've made a note here, when the alarm goes, you will go and check that particular stock. And you'll find your own note written here that you're waiting for the level of 1664 to break on the upside to buy. So this is how you can plot your study, you can keep your study intact, and you can keep it accessible whenever or wherever you are there. You don't need to be looking at the screen all the time. You can wait for an alarm to go off. You can just visit that place. So now I'll show you something interesting. So can you see, I'm just clicking on the alarm button here. Can you see there are so many alarms that I also use? So in fact, today, because of the gap down, there are so many alarms that happened today. See, this was created on the 17th. It happened today. Created 17. So this was created on the 17th January. It happened today itself. So there are so many alarms that I use. So I keep using these alarms. They keep triggering, and I don't need to keep looking at the screen continuously to what is happening. So this is exactly why I was explaining, I need to explain tools to you. They are not just charting tools. They are much more than that. They help you in things like keeping a tab, keeping an alert system, reminding yourself, making notes, drawing trend lines, a lot of stuff. I believe that we have not really explored the full use or the full benefits of these kind of websites. We only use for plotting and trading, but they can be used for much more in the long term as well. So this is one part of it. Like I mentioned, the left side is the tools part of it. Now I just mentioned the right side. This side basically indicates the price of that particular stock. So technically what you can do is you can look at these. Additionally, you can see here there is something called a list. Now you can see I have a particular list. I have a number of lists I have here. For example, I have a trading list, I have a scan stock list, I have a watch list, I have a commodity list, I have an index list. So with these tools, you can make n number of lists that you want. You can add list. You can make sure you are keeping a watch on the stocks you want. You can segregate the stocks. You can make different stocks in different sections to help you out. So this basically works like your office. It helps you streamline the process and make it a little easier. For example, in my case, my trading stocks are what I look at every day, or probably I've kept in the view. But I do have scan stocks, watch list, and some others as well. So this is how you can even segregate them this way. So this is how you can use this particular tool. Now going down to the more important part, that is the top portion of this particular website. So as you see here, this is something, it's called a symbol search. So every stock, currency or commodity is defined by a symbol. So I'll give you an example here. So for example, let's say I want to search Infosys. I can just type Infi and I will get Infosys here. See, Infosys, the symbol is Infi. I can also type in Infosys. If it is, let us say Vedanta, so VEDL. VEDL is the symbol for Vedanta. So when I go here, I can just type in VEDL and I'll get Vedanta. You can also type in Vedanta if you want, it will still come, but it's called symbol search. So let's say I'm going to go to Vedanta for the matter right now. So let's say I'm looking at Infosys and I want to check out some other stock or index. What do? I go to symbol search. I just put in VED. I get Vedanta first. I select and Vedanta stock appears. So you see, now when I open Vedanta in front of you for the first time, the previous lines that I plotted are visible right here. So this is not a plotting I've done right now. This is probably something I've done in my previous seminars and then I have not erased it. So when you have this window plotted, whenever you have logged in and when you open that particular symbol or that particular stock, you will get the plotting you've done in the past. So this is how the charting is helpful to keep things on track. So this is the symbol search. Now I'm going to tell you about the time frame. Allow me to go back to the presentation. So we learned about the symbol search. We'll be understanding about the time frames, indicators, and selecting candle strikes as well. So let's go here. So the time frame, as you see, if you see closely here, you will see 1M, 3M, 5M, 15M, 30M, 1H, 3H, 4H. So you can just take your mouse over that and you will see what the time frame is. So basically, time frame means that trading session. For example, let's say I click on 1 hour. If I click on 1 hour and I zoomed in right now on this, you will see when I just keep a lookout over here. When I take my cursor on the candlestick, I've taken my cursor on the candlestick and it mentions 9:15, 17th January at the bottom in black. So you can see here when I go there, okay? So 9:15, 17th January. So that was the start of the candlestick. Second was 10:15. So you remember I just clicked on 1 hourly here and these two candlesticks for per hour were depicted. Now if I want to break them down further, I can just select on 15 minutes. So can you read here 15 minutes? I clicked on 15 minutes. We go here and you will see the same thing divided in 15 minutes. When I come here, when I scroll over it, you will see 9:15, 17 January, 9:30, 17 January. So every candle will have a 15-minute session where the price action is printed. We move on to the next candle after that. So basic understanding is this is the time frame. So what is here is how would you like to see the price action as? You would like to see it as something called the candlestick pattern. This is called a line chart. This is called Heikin-Ashi candles, or there are n number of options. I prefer sticking to candlestick patterns because candlestick patterns tells me a lot more about how things are working. Rather, it gives me information about 4 different parameters about what's happened in that particular session. What I will also show you is this particular point is for indicators. So you can see here, if you go to technicals, so these are the indicators that I teach, or most of the indicators I teach, and these are indicators I normally also use. So in the course, I'll be teaching all these indicators and how to plot them as well. Volume is something that I always have ready, available, and always use on the chart I'm even displaying. So this is how to use this entire section of this particular charting website. Something interesting that I would like to also show you in this is charting tools. TradingView is not the only tool you can use. So I'm just going to take you to a different slide now. Let's go here. So there is one more charting tool, that is investing.com. This is also pretty commonly used by a lot of traders, a lot of investors to plot and study in their charts and to plot study on that. So investing.com has a very similar concept. To go to the tools tab, select live charts and go there. So now I'll just give you first preview of the entire investing.com window. So if you see here, the concepts are pretty similar. You will see tools on the left side, exactly same that we saw on TradingView.com. You will see, you can select the time frame and the symbol search right here. You can select what kind of display you want in the candlestick or line chart or however. Indicators are on the top as well, and the price of instruments is on the right side. So if you see carefully, the layout of both the charting websites is exactly identical. However, the services can be different. So allow me to go there once again. I'll show that to you as well. So I think it didn't open up. So we'll just open it up right here. Okay. So investing.com. Yeah. So I think investing.com. So I might be logged in investing.com. Yes, I have been already logged in here. So like I mentioned, what we have to do is we have to first go to tools tab, select chart, go to live chart. So let's go to tools. You can go to tools here. So you go on to tools. Oh, I think they have changed a little bit of the charts probably. Yeah, most probably. So I think they've made it easier. Initially, we had to go to tools and then we have to make changes. Now they have clearly mentioned charts right over here. So that's actually much easier now. So you can just go to charts here and go to live charts. So as you see, a live chart has opened right now. Only difference is it looks a little different, but the concept is still very same. Now, what you need to do is, if you go here once again, I am going to urge everybody, this has a premium paid version, free version. I highly recommend use the free version till you are a professional. Do not pay any charges. Do not upgrade yourself to a better version till you have studied properly and till you know how to use it. Use the free version right now. Even I am using the free version of investing because I have the paid version of TradingView which I use more regularly. So I'm going to expand this view right now. So click here, I'm going to expand. So what you can see here is this is a very similar concept, which is a list. I'm going to close the list for now and let's understand the same concept again. A little difference here is you won't find the exact same things here, but most of the things are common. For example, you will see you have a horizontal line that we just spoke. I also showed how to plot it. It is still the same. Just come here, a single click. You can change the color, you can change the thickness as per your convenience. I had also showed about the ray. The ray also is applicable here, just as we spoke about TradingView. So most of the important tools are very similar. They are based out of here. You can put a text here. You can write in text that I want to buy this is crude oil. I want to buy crude oil over price whatever, I think let's say XYZ, over price XYZ. So for example, if I have a particular price in mind, so this is how it looks. If you want, you can just break it down here, put an enter, so it becomes like a boxier version of what you want. Like we also mentioned, the potential of changing the color is also there. You can change the color, the background, that's pretty much understandable. But now, can you see here that a 15-minute candle is currently being formed here? So I'll just go down deeper into 5 minutes. So probably you might be able to see this candle as well. So in this case, you could just say, you know what, I want to buy crude oil if it breaks over this level. So while learning, we'll just see if it breaks and then you'll understand how you've plotted this. So I'm going to just use this here. I'm going to take it right down here. Yeah, I'm going to take it right down here. So now if you have a clarity that if it breaks over this, I'm buying. So probably you would have had an alarm here like I showed in TradingView. I'm not sure if investing.com gives me an option for an alarm, but if this candle closes over this particular line that I've drawn, then probably I would have decided to buy according to my study. So most important, guys, do not buy right now, because I'm just explaining the tools. I'm not giving you an advisory that you should buy crude oil right now. I'm just showing you how to use the tool. Luckily, we were able to see it. So this is how exactly it works. I want to buy, and you see, voila, it's going up, it's moving upwards, and this could have been a trade if the study was quite correct. So this is how it works. This is how your tools help you out. Now, as I mentioned, these are the tools side here. This is also the time frame I spoke about, a 5 minute, a 15 minute, a 1 hour, a 1 day, and different levels of the time frames as well. So you can also decide what kind of candlestick you want. You want a Fibonacci candlestick, a line chart. So a line chart would look something like this. Oh, sorry, this is not the line chart. Yeah, a line chart would look something like this. Then you also have Fibonacci candles here, and you also have candles. Like I said, I prefer using the candles on a regular basis because candles work better according to me, because they give you much more information about the session that's happened and helps you in a much better way as well. So coming down to the indicators, just like TradingView, you have an indicator session right here. You can decide what indicators once you're taught. I don't have them shortlisted because I normally teach on TradingView, but most of them are available here. There is a little difference on the paid and the free versions, but that's perfectly fine. Like I mentioned, you do not need to buy any paid versions right now. Similarly, we see that the price is always on the right side. So if you would be trading right now, you'd be looking at the price on the right side over here, and the tools on the left side, and some tools right over here. So this is how your actual trading works. Okay, so allow me to just take you through it. So this is basically how it works. So now that I have explained to you how your charting websites work and how charting is done, we also saw that in the live market, I just showed you how to put a line where you can make a note, and if things work in your favor, you can take buy or sell depending on whatever you have studied and whatever your plan is. So coming down, 3 important points. Just a minute. So allow me to just check. So as you can see, this is kind of working in our favor right now. We haven't studied this at all, but this is exactly how it will look when you start plotting, because you won't see this candle before you plot, but after you plot it, you will start seeing, you'll start entering. So luckily, this was a live example as to how to plot a study and how to execute it. So probably if it closes and if I have studied correctly, I might enter into this trade. It's as simple as that. Now, going back to our presentation, we see here that after understanding, I am going to give all of you an assignment for this video. The assignment is not going to be about trading, it's about the execution part of it. Like I mentioned when we began, the more you practice, the easier it's going to get. Just seeing this video or just seeing any video is not going to help you perfect what you're doing. So try to finish the assignment. Let it be as good or bad as it can be. However, try and finish it for a simple reason that I want everyone to be able to execute things, not just learn them. So first, I would like all of you to write 3 takeaways in your online account when I post this video. I'll be uploading this video by tomorrow 11 o'clock on our cloud-based system as well. You can write those there. And more importantly, I would like everybody to go check out both these websites. So please remember one thing, I'm not promoting or recommending any of these websites. I personally use TradingView. You could have a different opinion. You could want to learn on investing. That's perfectly fine. These are 2 platforms which I know are easy to maneuver, easy to use, and pretty similar in the setup that they have. So I think before I take you to the assignment, I'd also like to show you one thing. Those people who use, let's say, a Zerodha or a Kite, you can also access charts from here. So let's say I want to go to Aisha Motors. I can just select here. So ignore this, please. I can just go here. And here I can. So this is my chart right here. So this is my chart from TradingView. These are some indicators I've plotted. A blank chart will look something like this. And I think very similar concept once again. You will see the time frames here. You will see the candlesticks here, the toolbar here, the price here. Everything else remains the same. So in case you already have a Zerodha account or Upstocks account or Angel One account, whichever brokerage you're using, they also provide charts. So you could also use these. It's not compulsory, but I just wanted to give you a gist as how it works. That's important. So you can also use the same charts here. That's perfectly fine. So whatever charts you want to use, you want to explore, the assignment for today is going to be go to those charting websites, just check out the features. Try out the features on the left side, which talk about the tools. Try to see how the tools work. Try to see how you can plot them, how to use them. Try to see if you can check the symbol. Can you change the symbol? Can you change the name of the symbol? Can you move from Infosys to Bank Nifty, from Bank Nifty to crude oil, depending on whatever instrument you're trying out? Can you change time frames? How do different time frames look like? Also check what indicators are there. I'll be teaching most of them in the course I've designed for everyone. But check what are the indicators. Where do you plot them from? How does it look when it's plotted? On the right side, you will see the price of that particular instrument. Check the prices. Check other prices in decimal points or round numbers. Try plotting some supports and resistances, some lines here and there. What will happen? You might go wrong. That's perfectly fine. When you are learning something, when you're studying something, going wrong is acceptable. What is important is going wrong and correcting the mistake afterwards. So that's perfect. So this is the assignment. Make sure you check out these two websites which I just showed. I find them easy to use. You can use your own website that is provided by a broker. That's perfectly fine. But check out the features, tools, and how to manage them. Forget the quiz. This is a part of my seminar, so I won't be asking you to take a quiz right now. Just give me 1 minute. So allow me to just take a minute here. So today I posted a message in the group that one of our mentees did fantastically well, and I'm really happy for my mentee. That mentee has been one of the best mentees, or I would say the most disciplined one, more than being the best, because it's the journey. The journey is not about education. The journey is not just about knowledge. The journey is not just about execution. The journey is about trying to make this a long-time profession. If you're an investor, a trader, do not look at it as a get-quick richness. That's not the scheme it is. A trading or investing journey is something that I would want every one of you to take for life, and that requires a particular skill set and a particular mindset. So I highly recommend to everybody that work on the mindset. I will be working a lot on the mindset on the 28th as well. The 28th of January, the webinar that all of you have enrolled for is going to happen at 10 a.m. It's going to be a 90-minute webinar that I'll be taking, where I'll be giving you some ideas where even just after the webinar, you can start investing with those small tips I give in the webinar. It will be useful to begin that day itself, or it's a Sunday, so probably on Monday you can start with that. But what's more important from my side here is I'll be talking about the mindset. I'll be talking about something about a mental capacity to get better in the stock market. Because you must have heard of SEBI reports saying 1% of people make money in the market, 99 don't. The difference is 1% have the mindset to take back the money, 99 don't. So the only thing we have to do is we have to change our mindset from the 99 to the 1%. That's all is required. So I look forward to all of you attending the webinar on 28th, and we also have one more webinar coming up that will happen next Wednesday. That will be the last webinar before the main 28th webinar. And I'd also like to inform everybody that the 28th webinar, I'll also be talking about the budget day. So budget day happens on the 1st of February, which according to me is like a festival for me as a stock market analyst and a coach, because budget day happens only once a year, and that is a fantastic time to look at the market, because markets are really volatile and there's a different view about the market that you don't get to see every day. So coming to the end of this seminar today, I hope the tool session was informative. I am looking forward to all of you finishing your homeworks. I know most of you mustn't have done your homeworks in a long time because college is already done for many years ago. But I highly recommend that you don't miss out on the homework, because the more you practice, the easier it's going to get. Thank you so much, and see you soon. See you again on next Wednesday, and be ready for 28th of January. Thank you so much. Good night.